Trinamool Congress leader Mahua Moitra faces charges for her comments on goddess Kaali at a media event. A BJP leader, Jiten Chatterjee, has filed a FIR accusing her of hurting religious feelings. Bring it on, BJP. I'm a Kaali worshipper. I'm not afraid of anything, not your ignoramuses, not your goons, not your police, and most certainly not your trolls. Truth doesn't need backup forces, Mahua Moitra tweeted. Mahua Moitra had earlier said her comments had been twisted by trolls as her support for hugely controversial film poster shared by filmmaker Leena Manmekilia featuring the goddess smoking. Central Ministers Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and RCP Singh resigned today, a day before the end of their Rajya Sabha term. Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised both Mr. Naqvi and Mr. Singh as they attended their last cabinet meeting this morning. The Rajya Sabha terms of Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and Steel Minister RCP Singh end tomorrow. The BJP did re-nominate Mr. Naqvi and Mr. Singh. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's one-time confidant and number 2 in the party failed to get another Rajya Sabha term as his party boss was reportedly not happy with his proximity to senior party BJP. The Uddhav Thackeray faction of Shiv Sena, reduced to a minority in the Maharashtra Assembly, has appointed a new chief whip for the Lok Sabha, fearing a revolt by party MPs. Senior party leader Sanjay Raut wrote a letter to the Lok Sabha Speaker today and informed him that Ranjan Vichare has been appointed the chief whip, replacing Bhavna Gauli. Following a revolt by Eknath Shinde last month, Uddhav Thackeray lost 40 of his 55 MLAs and subsequently power in the state. Last week, he stepped down from the post of chief minister. A day later, the Shinde faction officially joined hands with BJP and staked claim to form government, which sailed through the majority test in the assembly on Monday. An unusually high number of incidents involving Spicejet aircraft has prompted the aviation regulator to seek an explanation from the airline. The Director General of Civil Aviation has pointed out big gaps on how the airline is functioning, from operating flights with degraded safety margins, issues that point at poor internal safety oversight, to vendors not being paid on time, leading to shortage of spare parts of the Spicejet fleet. The government's notice said Spicejet is operating its fleet on MEL, or minimum equipment list, which means the aircraft are considered safe to fly, but not all systems are necessarily operational. Yesterday, a Spicejet cargo plane flying to China returned to Kolkata after its weather radar stopped working. It was the 8th incident of technical malfunction on Spicejet aircraft in the last 18 days. Kerala Minister Saji Cherian on Wednesday said he was resigning after the controversy over his remark on the constitution showed no signs of abating, and proceeding in the state assembly were disputed once again, with the opposition forcing an adjournment for the day. Though the Congress-led United Democrat Front came prepared to take up the matter as an adjournment motion in the assembly and raised slogans against Mr. Cherian, charging him with humiliating the constitution and its architects. Speaker MB Rajesh suddenly announced that the House was adjourned for the day. Terming the Speaker's action as unprecedented, the opposition leaders later met him at office and conveyed their displeasure over his sudden decision for the early adjournment and alleged that the government and the ruling front were trying to avoid their questions.